I have a love-hate relationship with ideal series. And this is because they always seem to struggle in some way, be it in the acting of the cast or the writing by the screenwriter. They always seem to struggle to produce something good. And so when I'm watching Thai dramas, I kind of watch with one eye closed and accept that, you know, they have yet to get their bearing when it comes to like TV production, like other Asian countries, like say Japan or Korea, right? Who I feel like excel when it comes to like storytelling and TV production. Thailand has just not got to that point where I'm comfortable saying that like they are good, right? I can say for like most Korean dramas, even if the story is nonsense, you know that you're still getting something good quality. Same with like Japan, right? I feel like Thailand is a relatively newer market, and they are just moving away from those like really badly written, badly produced dramas because I mean now there's money going into it. There's Netflix, there's all this like actual like corporations coming in and like funding their projects, so they're getting better. But normally I would say that it's a very like shaky relationship I have with Thai dramas, and I kind of just have come to be okay with that because I want to consume you know TV as much as possible. That's just one of my interests, right? But once in a while, a gem will appear, right? A gem that is like no other will appear. And I would say that last year for me, that was the drama My Sherry Amore. I remember watching that drama and being like, this is superb. Like this is a very, very good drama. And it's a Thai lakon, right? It's a straight drama, and it was one of my, I'll say, best from Thailand. And it was just so well done, right? And so this year I feel like that gem is Thame Po, right? I have watched about 7 episodes of the 13, which is all that's aired, and I have to say that I am pleasantly surprised. Like this has been a huge surprise for me because, like I said, like I watched Thai BLs almost expecting there to be some issue with the production at some point, right? Be it bad acting, which I've gotten used to, or like bad script or bad directing, right? There's always something up, right? So when I watched the first episode of Temple and it was this good, I was floored and also thankful. Like you guys understand how thankful I am that it was well done, right? I was just so amazed, right? I want to say Tempo is god level, right? When it comes to VL dramas. And it's funny that I'm saying that. I know it's really funny because I've only watched 7 episodes. It's not even finished airing, but I will jump the gun here. I feel like this is a good example of a drama where a lot of things, could go wrong, but it doesn't. And that just makes it fantastic, right? This drama is going so well, right? And honestly, I am just like, I'm in awe, and I just love it so much. I will say that when I first heard about the drama production for this, I kind of brushed it aside, right? The main actors, William and S, they're not really familiar to me, right? They're not from any other drama that I can really name, and so I wasn't particularly like going to check out this drama. And I hate to say it, but the fact that I was coming from GMM TV, which I also have a love-hate relationship with, does not help, right? And so from the get-go, I was like, I'm not really gonna check this out. But once in a while you're bored, you're looking for something to watch, you watch everything else, and so I was like, let me try this out, and oh, do they bring it? Do these two boys bring it? Like I have to give props, especially to William, because I think he's actually a star in the making. Like his acting in the first 2 episodes is why I decided to continue watching this drama, right? Like he's so good for a kid that has never acted before. So I am impressed, and I just love his acting. But we'll get into that later. I want to actually talk about the drama and what makes it shine. I will say that I think that the strength of this drama is in its simplicity, right? It doesn't try to do too much despite having a kind of ensemble cast. Just to give a summary about this drama. Paul, our main character, gets a job as a videographer in charge of recording Mars, right? Which is this boy group, right, that is on verge of being disbanded because their leader, Thame, is moving to Korea. to start his career or to restart his career, right? But as Po begins kind of this documentary on these boys, and as he gets to know Thame, he realizes that Thame actually loves his group members more than he lets on, and a lot of the things he's doing, like the actions he's taking, is because he thinks, right? Tane thinks that this is what is best for them, right? And so Paul, given how sensitive of a soul he is, he thinks that, this relationship can be mended and kind of works with Tame to do so, right? So that's just the idea of the story. It's very simple and I really like it, right? I like that the story hasn't deviated from this. The core of the story is the friendship between the band members, with Tame kind of as their glue and Paul being Tame's emotional support, right? That's basically the story of this, right? When Paul first meets Tame is like this like injured animal who, you know how like there are injured animals that, will bite back at you because they are scared, really, right? They are kind of like fearful about what you're gonna do, kind of thing, right? They're just like jaded. They're, that kind of behavior, right? Tame is kind of like that. He is somebody who won't express his feelings, and so that was how he appeared to Paul at first, right? But if there's something to take from the cringy interview that Paul does in like the first scenes in this drama, is that Paul is all about oversharing. He's all about talking about his feelings, right? And so I think that's why, to an extent, he's able to get Tame to open up to him, right? And it's from that Tame starts to confide in Paul, and it is from there that they start to develop feelings for one another, right? And so that is kind of the basis for this story, right? Tame wants to mend his group, and Poe is there kind of to support him and to show him that, communication is important. And so that's just basically what the story is about. But it's just so well done in the way they do it. It's just touching, it's simple, but very like thought-provoking in a way, right? So that's basically the story, right? One thing that makes this drama superb when it comes to like this idea of their feelings and how, Tame and Po kind of develop, is that I find them to be very different from other type BL drama couples, right? In that the characters in ThamePo, right, Thame and Po don't feel the need to spell out everything, right? They are a kind of show don't tell couple, right? I feel like very often in BL dramas, no matter how interesting a character is, no matter how complex their relationship is, where they're coming from, what they've been through, one character will still feel the need to ask this question. And that question is, can you be my boyfriend? Or some variation of that. And this thing, it grates my nerves, right? This happened in Jack and Joker, and I found it very odd because I felt like it was very clear, right, that Jack and Joker only had eyes for one another, right? Like it felt almost juvenile, right? Given that one of them is a world-class scammer and the other one is a gang member, right? Like it had a very like, do you want to go steady with me vibe to it that I really, really disliked, right? Other shows kind of do this as the other show I was watching recently, Forever You does this, even though the two couples, Heath and Ter, almost had sex when they were like younger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense that at this point you will be doubting kind of like your relationship, right? Feeling the need to explicitly mention that you're a boyfriend, right, just does not seem mature to me, and it just feels odd. I don't know why I feel that way about this particular thing, but it's just like a little right. And so that's why I like Thame and Po, because they are so different. Because honestly, it's very obvious. It's so obvious that Thame and Po are into each other, right? Like it's obvious to the members of Thame's band, and it's also obvious to both Thame and Po. Like Po knows, he knows that Thame likes him, right? In fact, Po is so good at reading situations that anytime June tries to gaslight him into thinking that Thame doesn't really like him, he rejects the idea, right? This is an adult. Like, this is what I mean, right? This is someone who understands non-verbal cues, right? And I love that. I love that he wrote him like that, because why else would someone stay on the phone with you for the whole night if he didn't like you, right? Like if he wasn't into you. Like, nice try, June, though, but like, you do get what I mean. And so I just like that they naturally fell in love and they recognize that they fell in love, even though it's not necessarily like that, they are dating or anything, but they recognize that they mean something to one another, right? One of the most interesting scenes just talking about this is the scene where, so you know how Per and Gam, right? Per being Tame's group member, gets discovered by the boys, right? That he's dating Gam, right? And Per talks about the fact that this is a problem given the fact that they're in a band, right? Because again, people expect these people not to date, right? They expect them to be single and to be giving fan service for the duration of their career, right? And so Per makes a point that like this is gonna be a problem, and that's why he wants to be off the band, right? And it's Tame ruminating about this, that he goes to Po in the tailor shop, and like it's kind of determined to mention the fact that they can't really be together, right? Well, before Tame even says anything, Po kind of senses what he's about to say and starts crying, like he sheds a tear, which kind of causes Tame to like freeze up. And oh my god, like that scene is amazing because it's a lot. Like a lot was said, like without the characters even saying anything. It's the way like Po instantly knew their blossoming relationship like might be ending, right? And that made him cry because again, Po is such a sensitive, soft being. And it's also how Tame saw that and couldn't continue on like saying what he wanted to say. I find that so amazing, like so well done. Like props to the screenwriter, props to the director and the two actor. Like it's so phenomenal, right? If you guys don't get it, I don't know, I just find their relationship so organic. Like one thing I like too is the fact that like Tame liked Po the minute he saw him lift that little girl up so she could get a better view, right? Like that was at least like a good first impression of Po, which Tame had, that I think is the basis of why like Tame let him in so quickly, right? I also like the fact that he recognizes that like Po is kind of a sensitive character and that like Po thinks a lot, and so he's always trying to make sure like Po is not overthinking stuff, like Po is not thinking negative stuff, especially about their relationship, right? And I mean, before episode 6, right, Tame still hadn't really confirmed his feelings for Po, right? But even then, right, from episode like 2 to 5 or even some parts of 6, right, you see that this did not stop him from being extremely attentive towards Po, right? He's just a genuine person, I feel like Tame is, and I think that that's why his like group members also really love him and respect him so much, right? And I just have to say, like, William does an amazing job, right? Showcasing all this. That's what I mean. Like I just find myself in awe of him, in awe of his acting. He's very, very good at showing micro expressions, right? Like when he's happy, when he's sad, when he's conflicted, because the actor William is able to showcase all that, right? And I feel like that's just raw talent, right? That's not something you can really teach someone, right? Some people just got it. They got it and like they are just good at acting. And yeah, like he just like struck me as being very, very good. Given especially that this is his first time acting, right? I'm kind of like I'm a new fan of his. Like I'm an actual fan of his now. S does well as well. And he's fantastic. He doesn't take me out of the story, which is very important, right? But I do feel that like William is one that shines because I feel like his acting needed to be better, given that I feel like in scenes that is more poignant, like he's in scenes that is more intense, as opposed to like I feel like S is on the softer side of acting, right? S is kind of acting Po, who is like this soft character, and is in a romantic kind of world, whereas I feel like William is acting Tame, who is battling owners like their label and is trying to get his friends together and all these like different variety of scenes, right? So I just find him so amazing, and especially given that he's a singer first, right? That's just like wow, right? So yeah, I will give him props for that. Another aspect I will say that I love about this drama is Mars and talking about the boys, the friendship dynamics, right? Like the minute Tame decided that he's bringing the band back together, right? Each episode has kind of been focused on a different member and their own individual personal struggle, which I feel like is a good way to get you rooting for everyone, especially when they finally succeed in what they are doing, right? Like you feel like you know them because you've seen their journey and their story, right? And so I just really like that. I like the fact that Mars is actually a real group in real life. And so I think that they have very good chemistry with one another and genuinely seem like friends, which makes for a great watch, right? And yeah, now that the boys are back together though, right, I feel like they still have one last obstacle, right? And that is their label company, because I just feel like it's this lady wants to jeopardize them so badly, right? And I don't really know what the reason is. I think that the bottom line is money, but still, it's just odd how she's like willing, like she wants to destroy them so bad, right? And it's interesting to me that like, it's like she's the only bad person in this company, right? I feel like Sammy and Drake's character are also good people. A lot of the like staff in the company are good people. It's just that like their head is such a terrible person that like it's gonna be interesting, right? And I feel like most likely the next arc or majority of the story, in fact, going forward is going to be figuring out how they, tackle their label, and also, how we kind of just also watch Thame and Po get closer. I do say I'm worried about like their relationship coming out down the line, but I feel like they can handle it. Like I feel like they have the emotional maturity to handle this well. I feel like they recognize that, this is possible that it would happen. And so yeah, I do feel like it's still gonna end up good, right? They have good emotional support behind them. I feel like, it's gonna be okay, right? And guys, honestly, I'm so excited because I can't wait. Like, I feel like I will die when they finally kiss and just become intimate, because I feel like, first of all, Tame has been wanting to be intimate with Poe since like episode 2, right? He's always staring at Paul with like those eyes, and it's, guys, killing me. Like their chemistry is off the charts, right? Like I don't know, there's just something about how these two people just interact that you just know they really enjoy each other's company, right? That's one thing I will say, that like the characters, like Tim and Paul, just really enjoy each other's company, and that's kind of why they are so close. That's kind of why they are falling in love, right? They just get along so well and they understand each other so well. They want to like be nice to the other person, they want to like make the other person happy, and that's just that's beautiful, and that's just like classic romance. That's classic simple romance that a lot of like dramas miss out on doing. Like this is kind of what I want to see. I just want the mundane. I want them to walk back and forth from their place like 5 times in one night, right? That's what I want. I want to see cheesy but like just sweet and cute like romance, right? That makes you believe that this is actually real, right? That makes you believe that these people actually are into one another, right? And this drama is delivering. This drama is giving, and I love it so much. Oh my god. Okay. Honestly, I will stop now. Because honestly, I could keep going. But I will stop now, right? But yeah, I can't wait for the rest of the episodes. It's a real shame, I feel like, that Thai BLs only release once a week. Because honestly it's been torture. But I'm willing to be tortured for this, right? But yeah, anyways, that's really all I have for this episode. I really enjoy making this review, and I hope you guys are also watching this drama. You should. It's really, really good. If you're gonna watch one Thai BL this year, it should be this one. Again, I know it's early in the year for me to be saying this, and I feel like I do this every year where I like pick one BL and be like, this is the best BL for the year, and it's January. But seriously, I think that if you're gonna watch one, this is gonna be a good one. I hope to God they don't butcher this at the end, right? Because that does happen. They just like fall off. I don't know why, but I hope to God that this keeps being amazing, because if it does, like this is going on my top 10 list of like favorite BLs of all time. But yeah, that is really all for this episode now. I thank you guys so much for listening as always, and yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely week. I'll see you guys again next week. Bye.